Let me give you an example, if I may.
All right.
I never go anywhere without this. Let's take, for example, a $50,000 mortgage at 13.5%, amortized over 25 years. The monthly payment on that is $582.82. Now, the scary part is if we multiply that by the 300 payments that you're going to make over 25 years, you're going to pay back almost $175,000
Yes.
on a $50,000 mortgage. Okay, that sounds horrible, I know. But let's just take now and run a quick calculation on that. The monthly payment I said earlier was $582.82. We cut that in half, and you pay $291.41 every 2 weeks. First of all, instead of taking 25 years to pay off, it will take 16 and a half years. So we've saved 8.5 years worth of payments. And instead of $175,000 in total repayment, you'd pay back $124,659. So there's $50,000 in savings in your pocket. A lot of people like that concept.
Yes,
They've got better things to do with their money. Now, there's no question the credit union could use that $50,000 too over the next 25 years. But with the growth that we've seen in our facility here, we feel that the offset is certainly worth it because of, as I said earlier, our credibility, which I believe is there, and the good feelings we get when people come to us and say, "Hey, I just paid off my mortgage and it only took me 12 years."
Sure. All right. Now, if people wanted to venture into other aspects of finance, there's some things that you perhaps wouldn't be able to do for them that, let's say, a chartered bank under the Bank Act of Canada would be able to. Is that correct?
To some extent, yes. We don't deal in mutual funds. We don't sell stocks and bonds other than Canada Savings Bonds. Nor do we deal in the gold market.
All right, but you offset that by being a local institution with essentially local control.
Exactly. We're also open later, and again, we look at that as one of the pioneering things that the credit unions have done in this province, being open on Saturday mornings and being open till 5 o'clock during the week, 6 on Fridays, so that we're there when people get off work.
Right. All right. Again, I said as we started this, I come out with questions on the basis of being naive about your operation. What would be things that you would say, George, you've kind of missed on, I'd like to mention at this time?
That's tough, George. But let me say that as a local organization, we want to encourage people to invest in their own community. The money that you put into the credit union, we're going to turn around and lend out in this area and help out our local economy.
All right.
We are investing locally. We are certainly insured as far as the safety of your deposits go.
Yes.
We have convenience of ours. We have a pleasant, convenient facility. Without blowing our own horn too much, I don't know what else I can say.
Okay. If somebody were interested in starting a business in Nelson, essentially a small business, a single proprietorship of some sort, what steps would they take at the credit union to approach you about financial backing?
Okay, well, people that start a small business have got a lot of homework to do. We want to know that the business is viable on its own. And we will expect that they will have done quite a bit of homework to convince us of that. I'd like to think that I know my business But I don't pretend to know other people's business when it comes to the type of retail store, service, merchandise, whatever it is they may have in mind that they want to sell me on the idea on before I can approve a loan. So we look at a business plan. We look at financial projections and anticipated cash flows, what these people expect that they're going to earn from the business. I tend to think that if people come to me and say, I need to borrow whatever amount of money, and I'm not going to take anything out of this business for the first 5 years, I often wonder then, why are you doing this?
Yes.
There should be a return to the principal involved before we can assume that the business is going to be viable. We very often in business lending do require collateral to back up what it is that you're expecting to do. Unfortunately, it's a fact that a lot of small businesses fail. In many cases, they fail because of poor planning. We're going to go the whole 9 yards and ask that the planning be done in advance before we commit funds to it. However, once that's done, we'd like to think that we can get behind and support the business and encourage people, hopefully give them some hints as to how they can improve if it's an area that we feel we have some expertise in. I believe that our service charges on business accounts in particular, they'll find an advantage at the credit union over other institutions in town.
All right. Person then would have to do some kind of market survey or present something that says there is a market out there for the product that we're going to attempt to move. Location might be a feature.
Yes?
What would be some of the other factors in this business plan that would be significant?
Well, of course, that varies from one business type to another, depending, as I said earlier, whether it's retail, wholesale, service, type of industry that it may be. But we want to know who their target market is, who they expect will use their product or service, how they're going to know about it, where they're going to find it, whether there is in fact any market for it or whether one can be created.
All right. Existing market or trying to develop something?
Whether
totally
they
new,
plan
right?
to steal some from the fellow down the street or whether there's simply an untapped resource that hasn't been offered in Nelson before.
All right. Well, we trust those of you viewing this particular edition of It's Your Money have gained insight into the function of the credit unions and in particular what Nelson and District Credit Union can offer you. Our guest this evening has been Lorne Westnedge, the Assistant General Manager of Nelson and District Credit Union. Lorne, thanks again for being on the program.
My pleasure. Thank you, George.
George Millar, Your Money Matters. Good night.